Welcome to McKinney ISD Sports Talk. I'm Johnny B. Of course, this is the highlight section for football as we open the 2014 football season and our chance to talk about the McKinney Boyd Broncos with head coach Don Drake. Coach, good to see you.
Good to see you.
It just seems like yesterday that you took over this program, and in your first year here, you had no senior class, you didn't win a football game. 1 year later, you had this program in the playoffs, and it's been a model of consistency. The expectations outside the program are always high. What do you preach to the kids when they come into this program and you start summer practice about the expectations inside the program?
Well, we expect to be very competitive against the best competition across the Metroplex, and we feel like in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that's some of the best football not only in the state of Texas but across the country. And so we have tried to challenge our kids every year by playing a very competitive non-district schedule. We all know how competitive our district schedule is, and our expectation is our kids are going to go out there and win against great quality competition. And so we've been fortunate enough to be able to do that for the last several years, and we're excited about obviously this upcoming 2014 season and that competition that will be out there for us again this year.
Let's talk about that decision to play that tough non-district schedule. Does that give you a better idea of where your team is when you open district play?
Oh, I think without a doubt. You know, I think we could probably go schedule some people that we may have an easier time winning some of those games. I don't know that it would show us as much about ourselves as we need to know headed into district play. You know, I think Friday night was a great example of that. I mean, we go play a quality Mesquite Horn football team that, you know, across the Metroplex is ranked very highly. They're in like the top, I think, 12 across the Metroplex. And so, you know, while we lost that game, came up a little short in 21-15, you know, our kids played really hard and it showed us some things that we can improve on, you know, areas that we could learn. And it's like I told our coaches on Sunday, you know, if we go play somebody that we win by a few touchdowns, we're probably all sitting around this table feeling pretty good about ourselves, you know, and think we're maybe a little better than what we really are. I said, instead we go play a really quality opponent and it expose some things that we've got to go fix and we've got to get better at, and I think that's the advantage of doing that.
Let's talk about one of the challenges for every coach. Graduation, you got to replace some great senior leadership. Certainly at that quarterback position, it was probably tough to go into camp this year and not call your quarterback Curtis
yeah.
Since you've had Curtis Ladd starting at that position for almost 3 years. Talk about Grant taking over that position and how he runs your offense.
You know, I've been really impressed with Grant. I'm excited about him. He's got a very calm demeanor about himself. He's a very smart football player, makes really good decisions with the ball. I was very pleased overall with his performance the other night. I think if you look at his stat line, there's nothing that's going to stand out and say, wow, you know, that he played a great game. But, you know, as I go back and evaluate the film and evaluate the decision making that he had on the field at the quarterback position, I was very, very pleased. Not that we don't have areas that we've obviously got to continue to improve, et cetera, and he understands that. But, you know, I think he stepped in as a junior leader, and I think he's doing a great job so far.
McKinney Boyd has always had a great line of running backs. It's one of the things you're going to do. You're going to run the ball. You're going to be physical on both sides of the football. Dedrick kind of fits right into those molds. He had an opening good game, 91 yards, got a little nicked. What's his status for this week?
Oh, he's great. He was in practice yesterday, so he's ready to go against Coppell Friday night.
Mesquite Horn, you open up, tough loss, 21-15. We're going to see some highlights right now from that game. Overall, on both sides of the football, how did you like the way you played that game?
Well, I thought we did some really good things at times. Obviously, there's some things that we've got to improve upon, or we would have won the football game. But overall, I was very pleased with our effort. You know, I told the kids after the ball game, and again reminded them yesterday in our meetings that, you know, I thought we played hard enough to win the game. You know, we didn't play well enough to win the game for those 4 quarters. So we've got to go back and we've got to keep getting better in practice. And I think more game experience, particularly for some of those guys that are new faces to our varsity lineup, I think we'll see a distinct difference this week when we take the field.
Watching special teams play right here, that's always a big, important part of the game, and certainly early in the season. How did you think your special teams played this week?
Yeah, overall, I thought they played pretty well. You know, we had some great return yardage. We're able to give ourselves some great field position offensively. You know, here you're watching a great drive that we put together. Unfortunately, ended up stalling down here. That was one of the things that was unfortunate. We had a few possessions there that, you know, they picked it off. Matt Morris hustled down right here from the center spot, knocks out the ball. We actually get a safety right here, which doesn't happen very much on the offensive side of the ball. But, you know, thanks to Matt's hustle, we were able to get turn negative into a positive right there and turn it into some points. Here's a great throw to Jeremiah Campbell, who's our starting outside receiver, a kid that moved in off of our junior varsity squad from a year ago.
Grant stands, it looks like, very tall and very confident in that pocket when he throws the ball.
He is. You know, he's got really good vision and, again, understands the game very well. So I've been real pleased with how he's performed throughout spring and fall camp.
Defensively, you see how your defensive backs go to that ball, and you teach that tip drill in practice, and it comes to fruition every game. Here's your defense going after good coverage in that play in forcing the QB out of the pocket.
Yeah, I thought we did some great things defensively. You know, obviously we gave up a few big plays that we wish we had back, but overall I thought we played really well. We actually shut them out in the second half. I think they had 2 first downs total in the second half of the ball game. So, and that's a very talented team. You know, I think there's nine kids on that Mesquite Horn roster that have Division I offers right now. So it's a very talented football team, and yet we feel like we went toe-to-toe and had several opportunities to go win that game.
Jedrick does something that you just can't teach, and that's heart. Second, third efforts every time he touches the ball. So it seems like if you give him a little seam, he's going to make defenses pay.
He does a great job. You know, obviously he's a big weapon for us, and he's very involved. We were one tackle away from there, or one move away there, of maybe going the distance right there. So, and Brandon Bowling, you see him here on the interception return. Another very talented offensive player that's playing some on both sides of the ball for us. You see him there in the backfield. You know, he did a good job the other night of working special teams, defense, offense at receiver, and then also out of the backfield for us.
What kind of grade would you give your offensive line, the way they blocked up front in this game?
You know, for our first game out, I thought they did okay. We didn't establish the run quite as well as we had hoped. But again, we've got some new faces in there. It's a talented defense on the other side. You know, I thought we competed and we got after it. We just, you know, it's a high level of play. You know, we've got to play at a higher level every week, and those guys I feel confident in. I know they're going to do a great job.
Talk about Grant's decision making here. 2 good runs where he gets a nice read, pulls the ball back in, and gets about 10 yards on each carry.
Yeah, that was the draw play right there from the quarterback position. Did a really good job. Again, you see Brandon Bowling there rushing the football. I mean, as you can tell from the clips, I mean, we're in scoring position several times the other night, and we've got to put the ball in the end zone. Here's an example where we did, to take that to a 21-15 game. We had another couple opportunities where we had great field position that unfortunately didn't turn out for us in points, that if they had, we might have walked away winning that football game.
From week 1 to week 2, I hear a lot of coaches say that's the time that we really can make the biggest improvements, because we've got one game at game speed under our belt. Where do you see you need to do that this week? You take on a pretty good football team in Coppell.
Well, again, I think, you know, we've got some new faces in just about every position group that we have, you know, and so when they're playing that first varsity start, again, against a really good football team, you know, that game speed and that white line fever and all of those things you talk about, I mean, you've got to be able to adjust and get comfortable, and I think we'll see a greater comfort level this week out of our football team than we saw a week ago.
Tough game this Friday night, another great challenge. What does Coppell bring to the table that you got to watch out for?
Well, very strong rushing attack. I mean, Charles West is a very explosive back in their backfield. They've got a huge offensive line. They probably average 300 pounds or more across the front. So they like to come in and attack you with the run game. They've got a receiver that's got huge big play potential out there on the edge. So, you know, we're going to have to be able to play in some man coverage and hopefully limit some big play opportunities for them. Defensively, Coppell is what they are. I mean, they're a 3-4 defense. They play very physical, play very sound. So, you know, we'll have to go play well. But again, that's one reason we schedule the people that we schedule, is because we know in district play we're going to see that same kind of opponent. So why not go play those kind of opponents early and give yourself an opportunity to learn how to compete at that level.
Coach Drake, thanks for your time. As always, we appreciate talking to you.
You bet. Thank you.
It is McKinney ISD Sports Talk. We'll talk more football in the coming weeks, and follow the Lions, the Broncos, and the McKinney North Bulldogs all season long on McKinney ISD Sports Talk.